Yay! I'm excited, yes! It looks like Instagram is agreeing with me. I am here for my Instagram live with Catherine. Yes, I can see lots of you coming in as well. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you all. I hope you guys are excited as I am. Catherine, yeah, she has been hiding, hasn't she? And I can already see she's put a request in. I see you, Catherine. I'm going to come for you in just a second. Oh my gosh, there's already 23 people in here. Thank you so much, guys. Yay. I mean, you guys know that since lockdown, I've been doing these ANTM recaps, completely reminiscing, covering all the different episodes, even covering reactions to other people's comments on the show. And you guys have been so great. Like, you have actually been the people that have kept me going. It's been a great distraction during lockdown. And one of the main questions one of the main questions that I get and people really want to hear from is Catherine. Because she's the Queen Catherine, right? I'm going to see if I can find that request again. Sorry, Catherine, if you can send it again. Oh, there it is. Lovely. How exciting. Thank you so much. My vlogs keep you excited.
Hello.
Look at my lovely, gorgeous honey bun. How are you, my love? Like, we had a little brief conversation, a few hours ago, and it was so shocking to me and lovely at the same time to hear your voice. And now seeing you, I'm getting that weird feeling again.
Oh, my friend Annaliese, yay!
Oh,
I'm all right.
God.
I'm a bit fluffy-headed. I've had like 3 hours sleep. And I'm currently multitasking like a boss, and I'm like almost finished breastfeeding. Dun dun dun! I'm a grown-up. I have a baby, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Like, that's what I want to say as well. Catherine, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Your baby Isabel was born, a month ago?
Yes.
She's got a husband. You've got a husband. She has a baby. And I don't know, if somebody asked me to reminisce about something that happened nearly 10 years ago that I've probably tried to bury a month after I'd had a kid, I probably wouldn't be that into it. So really, thank you so much.
That's all right. I've definitely not trying to bury it. Like, I love like the ANT. I just love it. I miss our days. It was so fun. It's so fun. Any chance to like talk to you or talk about it, I'm well up for that.
Yeah.
Even on 2 hours sleep, I'm here.
Have you seen, I mean, I don't know if you've been online and stuff, but so obviously I've been doing my reactions, but then also there's just been a lot of content and topics and discussions about ANTM, about Tyra Banks, how the whole franchise, how it treats the girls, yada, yada, yada. I mean, have you been seeing any of that? Do you care? How do you feel about it?
A little bit of it. Yeah, I have actually seen a little bit of it. And I think it's tricky. Because where we've kind of like lived it, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to say.
I feel
like we were treated pretty well. I do think we were treated pretty well. And the team that looked after us behind the scenes, obviously you don't see them. I just remember, you know, all the memories of when to talk, when not to talk, and we don't. If you think about Tyra afterwards, I don't think I've not spoken to her in 10 years or really heard from her in 10 years. I still follow her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I'm glad to hear that you don't have like bad feelings towards the show. I feel like I've been pretty torn with it because there has been a lot of negativity. And
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think it was really stressful. I think it was one of the most stressful times in my life, and I would fully say that. And I can see how it's had negative impacts on people.
Same.
But I think it's had a very positive effect on my life. If we're just going to talk about me, do you regret anything? Are you glad that you did it?
No, I don't regret it at all. I'm really glad I did it. And I remember at the time, it was really weird. Like, when they sort of asked me to do it, at the time I was kind of thinking, oh, should I or should I not? Which now seems crazy. Like, what was I even thinking about not doing it? Like it was just the best thing ever. And even now, like if the chance to do something like that came up again, I would just grab it with both hands. You got to, haven't you? You got to say
can't
yes.
say no. I think you'd have a
No.
bigger regret if you turned it down.
Yeah. And it's Tyra Banks. Like, how can you say no to Tyra Banks? Like, no. So no regrets. And actually, I was kind of really looking forward to it because after Britain's Next Top Model, I felt like I possibly came across a little negatively.
Sorry, I'm cooing. I'm cooing over Isabel's sound. Sorry.
So I was looking forward to kind of coming on and like having a chance to, you know, do it again and just show off like me again.
I don't remember. I probably watched your season of Britain's Next Top Model, but I don't remember. Honestly, I've buried Britain's Next Top Model. I don't remember anything. I find the episodes, people have asked me to try and do recaps on Britain's Next Top Model, and I've tried, but I don't know, it just brings back I don't know, I don't want to watch it.
I don't feel so good about Britain's Next Top Model. I don't feel so good. I feel like that it took me, which sounds really weird, but when that finished, it took me a long time to be okay.
Yes.
So you put so much into it and so much like your heart and your soul, and you really think that you deserve to win, and you know, and then it doesn't happen. It kind of like breaks you. It took me a long time to recover. So it's
how
a bit
long
sour
did you have in between?
How long did I have between? I think. Oh, I don't know.
Were you
Maybe...
on the ANTM 4? I don't know.
Yeah, it's on number 4. So was that 6 years before?
6 years?
No, maybe not.
No,
maybe not. Maybe 2 or
because
3.
I was on 6, I think. I was on 6, so that was 2 years after you, and I had maybe a year and a half, maybe just so maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the chat. Alicia did a chat with Oliver Twixt, who is this awesome guy who makes lots of different types of content, ANTM being one of them, and she literally talked about how traumatizing it was to go basically straight from Britain's Next Top Model to America's, and she was proper traumatized by the whole experience, like as in therapy and all sorts.
Really? I saw it I think I saw it on your page. You mentioned it, or I saw it somewhere. I thought I must watch that. I love Alicia.
Yes.
But no, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it was nice to see her as well.
Yeah, bless her.
Do you keep in contact with any of the girls?
You just put everything into it, don't you? You just put your everything in. It's really hard to then accept that it's not your time.
Yeah.
Or not for you, or...
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where I should bounce around with what I need to ask you, babe, because there's quite a lot. Tell me a little bit about what you've done since the show, because I know you were a teacher. Are you a teacher? I don't know. Fill us in a little.
Teacher. Yeah, I'm still a teacher. I can't get over how fluffy my hair looks in this video. You know, you keep looking at yourself. I'm like, oh no,
right. I've got fluff to match you. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Mine's doing its own thing.
Just my auntie's joined. Oh, hello, auntie.
Oh, hello, Catherine's auntie.
Hello, Heidi.
Have you done an Instagram live before?
No, this is like new to me. When you asked me, I was like, how do I do this?
Yeah, I know, it's a bit weird. It is definitely weird. But to give us a little rundown what you've been doing since the show. So
straight after the show, I kind of continued pursuing modeling. So like got an agency and kind of went out there doing jobs, you know, here and there, all sorts, mainly hair things. So I did a lot for GHD and
who were you signed to?
I was signed with Union at one point.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was signed with, oh my God, my brain's gone blank. Who was I signed with?
Oh, that's all right.
Anyway, I was signed with a few different ones.
Yeah.
I did approach the bigger ones as well, but I didn't have any luck with them. And I remember being really disheartened by that, because you go on these shows and you think, you know, you feel really good about yourself and you get your pictures afterwards, and then you approach these big agencies and they didn't want to sign me. And I was like, oh no, you know, you feel a bit gutted. You think, why? I didn't quite fit what they were looking for. But, you know, still don't give up. That's one of the things I'd give like advice to people, is just because you don't get signed by a big agency doesn't mean that you can't model and you can't do that sort of thing. So I still went, you know, several model agencies, still went to I went to Italy, I went to France, all sorts modeling. So it doesn't stop you. So I did that. And then while doing that, I knew that modeling might not be forever. So I was doing a degree part-time to be a teacher. So had to be very careful, you know, with what jobs to do, and like knew what the end game was, because I love teaching.
Yeah.
And so I carried on modeling for as long as I could, and then things did like naturally start to slow down. So I thought, right, this is the time to tap out, and this is the time. And actually, also, I kind of wanted to have a house and be a bit more financially independent, and that's quite hard to do when you're modelling because you don't know when your paycheck's coming. So
yeah. What
so,
teacher are you? What kind of teacher are you? Who do you teach?
I'm a primary school teacher. So for the last 7 years, I've mainly been teaching 9 and 10-year-olds. So and I love it. It's really fun. It is really fun. They keep you on your toes. They keep you feeling young. Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, that's me. So, and then I guess that's it really. Just been doing that now.
Hello,
yeah.
You've got a husband and a baby. Hello.
I know. I feel so grown up now. I'm like, wow. I'm married and I've got a baby. It still feels weird that I've got a baby. I'm not gonna lie.
It's only a month though. I can only imagine.
It's mad. Like last night, I was up at like 3 a.m. trying to burp her and getting sick in my hair, and I thought, wow, this is the life.
Oh, thank you so much, Pat, again.
It's great. It's brilliant. I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, it's good to talk to you as well. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm gonna put it down just for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
No, don't worry. She's got a baby. She's got stuff to do. How great is it to see Catherine, guys? Oh, it's like just reminiscing, and you can completely remember like the good times we have together. I can't believe it was actually 10 years ago. That was really quick, babe. Can you believe it was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
It's actually like 9 and a bit, but let's just round it up at this point. Like,
yeah, let's round it up. Let's round it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do miss it. I'm not gonna lie, I do miss it. Like I see because I follow all the girls, and I try and keep in touch as best you can. Like when I saw yours, I had to just message you, like, oh, well done. Yeah. And I try to stay in touch. And you do miss it. And I just think, maybe one day I'll try and go back to it and like, try modelling again later. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I feel really good about where I am. It took a long time to feel good, which sounds really weird, but I feel really good. I feel like I'm, doing what I should be. And
do you think that's the show's fault that it took you a while to feel good?
After the Britain's one, yes, I would definitely say yes. After the America's one, I kind of left, and it was awful because I remember my elimination episode, and I just knew it was me. And and I remember sitting with you girls backstage, and I was just looking at you all. I was like, my time has come, guys.
Yeah.
I feel a bit emotional now, and my eyes, like, I can feel the emotion now. Like knowing that I was going to get eliminated was the absolute worst.
Yeah.
But like, doing the show, I felt like I did everything I could. Like I felt like I was so much more positive. I had so much more fun, and we all had a laugh. And so when I got eliminated, I was just like, okay, no, I can be at peace with this.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to recover after it. I just felt okay.
Yeah.
And I knew that, like, I had backup. It's always good to have backup. So I felt good about, had a plan in life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How did you feel? Like, again, I'm going to keep on referring to it because a lot of the stuff that I'm learning about Top Model has literally happened in the last few months, from being somebody that creates the content and sees other people's content. And a lot of people we've spoke a lot about the sabotage, where you do so much better in a shoot. Like, you were there with your eyeballs and that you got some shit together. Do you know what I mean? And then the photos that they pull out being the complete opposite. To make you feel better, in case you don't know, Tyra never chose the images. Even Jay Manuel didn't choose the images. Production chose them.
Yeah, that's kind of like that. I feel like I shouldn't be surprised.
That's how I felt. I'm like, why am I only just? We knew this because we were there.
Like, why? Why? Then you think, oh, did they look? Did she look at like some of them? Oh. And it's one of those, like, because like you said, you're in the moment, and okay, yes, also you're not doing so well, but then that you've got some better shots. And also, like, when you watch the episode and you see yourself posing, you're like, well, why? That's a good pose. Yeah. And then and the thing is, you don't want to come across, I don't know what the word is, but when you're in the panel and you see the photo come on the screen and that's not your best shot, but then you feel like if you say that, they're like, oh, yeah.
Well, they're only going to come for you. They're only going to come for you if you say, I know that ain't my best shot.
Exactly.
You just have to accept it. You have to believe the lie.
You got to grin, and you got to bear it and just be like, okay.
And then take all the daggers.
Hard. It's hard. It's really hard. And I think that's why I found that when I got eliminated really difficult, because I knew I had better shots, and I knew that like you think about your track record. I knew they had better photos leading up to that. I was really hoping we did our music video, which I loved. And I was hoping we should be a band after that. But I really hoped I'd get first call out that week. I thought, come on, like, this must be my week of first call out. So I didn't get it there. And you're like, oh man.
Did you come second though that week?
Yeah, I came second that week.
That's not bad.
But it's not first though, is it? It's not first.
I don't think I ever came first. I never came first, babe. You know, sneaking in there. I don't know.
You were fab, and you're still fab. I love like seeing what you're doing now. You're doing so well. I'm like, yes, go girl, go team.
Yes, thank you. I mean, like I said, I consider ANTM to be an absolute highlight of my life and my career. I don't think, don't get me wrong, I'm the kind of person that's very persistent, so I'm sure I still potentially might have been doing or attempting to do what I do now, but I don't think I would be doing it in the same way, on the same scale. And so,
no, you got to be thankful. And we're like lucky because to do Britain's Next Top Model is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So to do America's Next Top Model as well, that's just, it's, you know, you've got to be grateful for all the good and bad.
Technically, we are like one. Do you know there's nobody on the planet that has done Britain's Next Top Model and America's Next Top Model apart from us? Like, isn't that crazy?
I know, it's really weird. Us 7? It was 7, wasn't it? 6, 7?
Seven.
Yeah.
Oh look, Oliver's here. Oliver, hi Oliver.
Oh, hi everyone.
Yeah, he's the guy who did the interview with Alicia, and he does lots of other amazing ANTM content. He's like working his way through all the cycles.
That's cool. It's the hair. Well, I'm sorry about my hair.
We're not, but like I said, I'm just grateful that you're here, babe, because you really didn't have to do this. I would have completely understood.
No.
I said to Catherine, by any chance, I know this is a long shot, and I was all trying to frame it like, maybe could you possibly? And she came back straight away with yes, and I was like, The ANTM fandom will love me for this. Everybody wants to hear from you, Kat. Everybody.
Everyone's been so nice. I do, you know, at the time of the show, and sometimes like afterwards, you do have a little look and think, oh, what do people think of that week, and what do people think? And people have been so nice. It's like, thank you guys.
Yeah,
it's nice to have support. So it's really cool. Really appreciate it.
It's been amazing.
I quickly put her up, right? I'll be right back. I'll put you down for 2 seconds.
That's all right. I think when I come back, Kat, I want to talk about your makeover and the red hair. Okay. Yeah, because you had a bit of a drama with the whole hair. So,
there we are.
She's made an appearance. Oh no, we've lost that. Oh,
there
she's made an appearance.
She's made an appearance. She might not stay for long.
Look, you're getting all the hearts. Hello, honey bun.
She's a bit cranky. Yes, the makeover. Go on then.
Yeah. How did you feel? Did you like your makeover? And then what was the whole issue with it always just fading? I swear it faded like every 2 days or something.
Yeah. So, makeover. I was hoping that I wouldn't get a bright coloured hair. So when I saw the magenta, I was like, oh, darn it. I love the magenta, and it did look cool, but it did fade pretty much after the first wash. And also, because after Britain's Next Top Model, I was modelling as well, you sort of see the modelling world, and you realise that people with that kind of colour hair don't really get booked.
Yeah, you're not helping my cause, yeah.
No, they don't really get booked. You don't, if you look on TV or look in the magazines, there's no models with magenta hair.
Unless it's for a hair dyeing company or whatever.
Yeah, so I knew that I was going to struggle, and that's why I saw one of the questions that somebody had asked was how I felt about not getting cast in Toronto. And that was hard because I knew the chance of me getting cast was slim because they were real what's the word?
Real castings.
Real castings. They were real castings. So I knew that they might not want some of my colour hair, which is why I put it up. But yeah, so that was hard. I knew that I was going to be in trouble then as well because of that. Oh, she's trying to. She wants to be on the film.
Yes.
She wants to film me. Yeah. So that was hard. Oh, I'm going to put her down. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Oh, we are all about the multitasking here. As I said, this is Queen Catherine doing a whole bunch of multitasking. We are supporting the fact that she could even be bothered to get on this live with me, and I just want to thank her. Show her all the love, all the hearts, all of that malarkey. Yes. I've still got lots and lots to talk about Catherine with. Yeah, we're going to delve a little bit more in. I have some of your questions as well here. Yeah, is there anything, if you do have a question, maybe pop it below and I will attempt to read it, even though I'm kind of squinting at the screen right now. But lots of you are being very lovely. Lots of love for Catherine.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to try like this. We'll try like this. Okay.
Yeah, let's give it a go, babe. All right, so we spoke about the makeover not getting booked in Toronto.
Yeah.
Do you think...
Oh, I forgot about, because you had the problem as well, because they put in our hair, they put hair extensions on each. So my hair, every single strand of my hair, I had an extension onto it. What they called it, bonds.
Yeah.
So it wasn't glued in, it was bonded in, which was so heavy and so uncomfortable. And you had yours. I don't know if you talked about it before.
Yeah,
afterwards.
don't worry, these lot know. But yeah, I mean, ANTM in general seems to have an awful reputation for just messing up girls' hair. People have had bald patches and all sorts afterwards. Alicia complained that the bleach on her head, and then they came right. Oh no, they really don't know what they're doing, and they completely do the makeovers for shock value, don't they?
Yeah, and luckily for us, because we were like in quite a lot of pain, they actually did take out the bonds pretty much a day later for me, because I was really worried that it's going to pull my hair out.
Yeah.
So that was lucky, because I know in some series they didn't take the stuff out of the girls' hair.
I think it's because we made a fuss, though, because I made a fuss. Yeah. My lymph nodes were all up at the... They had to send me to... The doctor had to come into the house. Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary.
This is another point as well. The British girls, we were quite ballsy. Like when it came to asking production and telling people like how it was going to go, we were quite vocal.
Because we'd done it before, so we knew, like not to take any rubbish.
Yeah. Because we just knew what we were doing, and we were like, no, I'm not having this. This is how this is going to happen. So we managed
we stuck together.
Yeah, and we stuck together for sure. But do you think that... I feel like you were not represented very well on America's Next Top Model. Not that you were seen badly, but I feel like they didn't give you a lot of airtime. I think you're funny, so much funnier than the show made you look. The show made you look like you didn't have much going on.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. And I think because of where I came in the show, maybe they kind of edited out quite a bit. I enjoyed watching the behind the scenes clips they put afterwards, because I also feel the same. I felt like I had a lot more going on, and I felt like, it was a bit of a shame. I've had, and I wish I got further, and I wish that, even though I said I was at peace with it, I did wish that I'd got further, and I wish that you'd seen more of me. I feel like the week we did the music video, and the whole, when Queen Catherine came out, that was like, that was me. Like that was, we only had one take for that, maybe two. So I knew that we didn't have one
take. We had one take, remember? And then the American girls got so much more than us.
Yeah, it's just not fair, is it? So I knew that we had like one take and wanted to show me. So that's what everyone remembers, is that little clip, and I felt like that was me right there. And you didn't really see a lot of that in the rest of the series, so that was a bit of a bummer.
No, it definitely was. It was such a shame that they decided to do that. But I think it's all down to production. We've noted that production are literally the king of everything, and filming our season, there was a lot of issues with production and stuff. The judges were arguing, production were arguing. They even had to refilm the previous season's elimination on the same day that we did an elimination.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know. I found that too, babe. There was a lot going on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're waiting there for so long.
In the shoebox, right?
Yeah, in the shoebox. Like hours and hours and hours spent. Because we'd wake up in the morning for getting ready for elimination. We'd spend hours like getting dressed, doing our hair and makeup. Then we'd go into this room and we'd wait there for sometimes like 5 hours. You're like, guys, come on, this makeup is now sweating off my face.
The makeup's here now.
My hair's not looking so good anymore. Like, come on, guys.
Bloody ugly t-shirts.
Yeah. Although I do feel like, because some of the girls had some like amazing outfits for elimination, like, and I felt kind of good that, because my outfits, they're okay, but they weren't quite designery level. So I'm like, oh, at least we can blend in. Yeah. So pros and cons. Yeah. You know who I'm talking about.
I had some looks. babe. I probably would have regretted them afterwards, but I had some looks that I was ready to pull out. Those t-shirts cramped my style for sure.
Yeah. I love that as weeks went on, they got more and more ripped and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah, in my elimination, it was literally just a flag stuck on my dress. We were so trying to get rid of that. Like,
We were. Sorry for making you seasick, by the way. I'm just rocking at the same time.
No, not at all. Do what you need to do, honey. Something else I wanted to ask you, babe.
Yes.
This blog of yours, vlog.
It was a bit of both,
I never
actually.
saw it. Let me, because this question everybody's asking me to ask you.
Okay.
And throughout the time of me doing my videos, people were messaging underneath, oh, but Kat said in her blog, oh, but Kat said this. I was like, where is this blog? I could never find it. I've never seen it. So I've only got hearsay. What is this blog? What did you say in it? Even if it was bad.
So originally I had a YouTube page, a bit like yours, and I was also doing episode reviews every week. And I did actually write, oh no, it's come back to me now. Yes. So I did episode reviews each week. And then I did actually write a blog once where I kind of, a bit like you've been doing your own research, getting your own feelings about the show since afterwards, I wrote a blog about how I felt about it, about the picture that was chosen, about how some of the girls did, and about, yeah, that sort of thing.
So, and I kind of, yeah, go on. No, let me let you finish. I'm not going to interrupt.
And when I wrote the blog, I kind of wanted, it's one of those, a bit like when you had the photo, you knew it wasn't your best shot. Writing the blog, I didn't want it to come across like I was like a bitter sore loser. That's not what I wanted to come across as. I just kind of wanted to like address some of the things that were really bothering me about the America's Next Top Model experience and be honest about it. And then later on down the line, obviously I started teaching, and you can't quite, which is the tricky thing, because I love being online. I love, like, you know, talking to people who'd watched the program, and I've seen some lovely like videos people have made like for me, facing it. I love all of that and the modeling side, but you can't do both of teaching because you're a role model, and it's a different career, so you've got to switch off that other side. So that's what I had to do. I had to switch off. So I had to delete the blog. I had to delete my YouTube channel because I didn't want it to compromise my teaching.
Yeah, so that's smart. That only makes sense. But I am going to dig in more, babe, because we're smoothing over it. I heard that you were pretty mean. That's what they said. You were pretty mean. But
I think I was mean.
Did you say anything about anybody particularly?
Yes.
Go on. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I can see the comments. So yeah, you're right. I can't remember who said that. Who's that? Angsty medium. Yes, I did. Now I remember.
Oh,
yeah, I did talk about. It's coming back. I did talk about Sophie. I don't think I said it was Sophie, but I was referring to Sophie because I personally felt that she. I don't know. I don't want to ruin her experience either.
No, I think a disclaimer, babe, hold on a second. The disclaimer that I want to give you is that nobody, and this is the conversations that I've had with a lot of the girls and stuff, we don't feel the same way. It is a whole 10 years later. Whatever we said then is a whole 10 years ago person. We don't know. Like, we can't be held to any of it, because I said some pretty awful stuff too here and there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I just felt like, so for example, when we got our makeovers, I heard down the grapevine that Sophie basically was allowed to have the pink hair.
Yeah.
And when they cast her, I heard, I could be wrong, that she said the only thing they could do to her hair was dye it pink, because she was already signed and the agency wouldn't like it.
And is that what you heard on the day of the makeover, or?
Yeah, that's what I'd heard. I heard a few things, and then I personally felt upset because my hair was magenta and it was fading and her hair was pink. But when she washed her hair, it went back to a lovely blonde colour. So she was blonde again within 4 days. Yeah. And I feel like that helped. Because as I was saying before, you don't really see models with pink hair or magenta hair. So it's good for the show because you look quirky and you stand out. But in the real world, you don't really see that. So I kind of felt that that was one thing that bothered me from the beginning, amongst a few other things, but I'm not going to go into them all.
No,
That's one thing
there's
that
no
bothered
point.
me. I thought that that's a little bit unfair. That if that was true, if she did get to pick her makeover, that was a little bit unfair.
It
And then
was
it
true,
bothered
by the
me that it
way.
wasn't. It was. So then I felt it was unfair that it wasn't dyed pink again, because mine was dyed pink again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the things that bothered me. That's one of the things I think I spoke about on the blog, which made me feel like, was it all a fix?
Yeah, it was basically.
So
But
yeah,
obviously, I mean, Sophie, as far as I'm concerned, Sophie was favoured throughout the show. That's what I personally think. I'm not saying she didn't deserve to win. I love Sophie. I talk to her quite often. Amazing girl. And to be fair, any of us, I think, could have won it. Does that sound a bit begging? Like, do you know what I mean?
No, I think that's quite a hard one. It's a hard one to say. I don't want to take anything away from her either, because like you said, like she's a lovely person, and we had fun while we were there, and it's no disrespect to her that happened. Like it was her. So it's not her fault. I kind of want to say.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit annoying.
It was. I mean, I feel like me and you, maybe besides Alicia, had quite a toughish time, because that middle zone of nothingness, it's a bit annoying, isn't it? It's like, it doesn't matter what you do right, you don't get enough of you don't really get acknowledged, you kind of a little bit underrated, you do something well, but then you still get called like third to last. I felt like all I was doing was trying to please. I was just like, please, like me, this.
I know.
Pose, like me.
I know. I was like, please see me. And with Jay Manuel, that's really hard as well, because he's a hard one to read. And you do something, and you think, and then he'd like give you some directions. You're like, are you doing this for my benefit, Jay, or are you trying to get me in trouble? I don't know if I should do what you're telling me to do, Jay. And also seeing Jay in real life is just so weird. And also like, and seeing like all of them in real life, and like Jay Alexander and the catwalk and everything. You're like, oh my god, I love you guys. I've watched you on TV since I was 10, and now I'm here.
Grew up with them, yeah,
and you want to impress them. And so when you don't, you're a bit, like, oh man, yeah.
I think what we have to hold on to is that we had to have impressed somebody to get there in the first place. And maybe that's all the kind of validation. Like, I do a lot of like trying to judge the photos and put them in the order that I would have called them out in, because their orders were messed up as far as I'm concerned. But then I find it really difficult, because I do think, and especially when you're only looking at the photos that they've picked, all of the girls in the competition can take a banging photo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So like trying to judge between them, and I get that's the whole point of the show, apparently. It's just.
And I suppose I'd be curious if they had always picked the best shot. Wouldn't that have made more of an interesting show? Because then it would have been like not so obvious who's going. It would have been more.
Yeah. But then what is best? It depends whose best is best.
True.
Because it's so subjective. True. Some people like different things in shots, and this is.
Yeah, that's true. Like with agencies, some agencies like some types of girls who look one way, and it's all, like you said, it's all subjective.
Yeah, and obviously agencies, none of the agencies I went to ever liked any of the shots from Top Model, of course.
No, that's true. They looked at them, but then they never actually used any of them.
No, because they were a lot. They're like,
you're
like caricatures, cartoon characters, like.
Yeah, but they look so cool though, don't they? I think, why don't you like these photos? They look like well, some of them look cool anyway.
What was your favourite shot? What was your favourite photo shoot?
I think it was the one that you used of me for the promo. I liked that one. I also like the one with the green dress from Nigel Barker's shoot, because that was cool as well. Yeah, and him taking like our photos. I'm like Nigel's taking my photo, guys. Yeah, that was cool. That's my second favourite, maybe. Yeah,
you were really cool in the Hello Kitty. It's probably one of my favourite ones as well, Yeah, it's a shame you didn't get to do Macau, the tower, because Nigel shot that as well.
Yeah, that looked cool. Although I don't know if you said in previous videos that, so while you were doing that shot, we were still there. So us eliminated girls, we were known as the bogies. Yeah. We were called bogies. And obviously in England, a bogey is something that's up your nose.
Nostrils,
but in America, or a double meaning, a bogey is like a fake.
Yeah.
So all us girls there, we were bogies, so we had to go to the photo shoot, and watching you girls do that, part of me was envious, like, oh, look at them, like still in the show and still competing and having all these opportunities. The other part of me was like, that looks really scary. Is that even safe?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Talk to me about being a bogey, because that's something that a lot of, because I obviously wasn't a bogey for that long.
You were never a bogey.
Yeah, so I don't really know. But apparently, especially when the show was still in LA, to be a bogey, that's where the reality show was, like being at the hotel, because they got up to some mischief. Was there any...
I heard that too.
Yeah. Was there any mischief that happened in Hong Kong or Macau?
No. So we no, there wasn't as much mischief. No, we got out there. We sort of, partly because it's a little bit scary. You weren't allowed to leave your hotel room. Well, you were allowed in the hotel, but you weren't allowed to leave the hotel really. And being in like such a different country, it was a little bit scary. The thought of like leaving the hotel, unless you had a supervisor, not a supervisor, a chaperone. That's it. So there wasn't so much, but I do remember being desperate to speak to family, and they still wouldn't quite let you. So that was hard, and I was trying to find. I remember in the hotel, me and Alicia were like at the early hours in the morning, we'd sneak out our room and try and find a computer with internet access so we could just message home.
I think that's part of their game, though. They want to keep you isolated. I mean, even after the show, I think they just want to keep you in their world for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like when people got eliminated, it was genuinely upsetting. Like you felt like they were dying and you had to remind yourself that you were going to see them. Like, yeah.
Like I saw like Jobsicle's comment. He said, with the girls who weren't eliminated, see us bogeys, and yeah, they did. So,
from a distance.
And also at some point it was, then you kind of felt like a bit of us and them at some point, because you felt like the girls that were still in were looking at you like, oh, why are they here? They're bogeys. You're like, no, like you felt different. You didn't feel like one of them anymore, even though that wasn't the case. And like with their friends and everything, we saw them, but we weren't allowed to talk to them or really be near them. So we were just there in case anybody from the outside world saw us, was trying to guess who's still in the competition. That's the whole point.
So they were trying to keep it a secret as to who was still in the show. I must admit, Kat, I don't know if I've buried it or whatever, but there's a lot of details that I don't remember. Like you speaking to you lot and stuff actually reminds me of stuff. If it didn't happen on camera, I'm like, did it happen? It's like when a tree falls and no one hears it. I literally... I think part of that, I mean, obviously it was quite a long time ago, and it was a whirlwind.
I can't believe it was 10 years, like you said. 10 years, no way.
I barely remember what I did last week.
I know. Mad.
So trying to remember that stuff is really difficult for me, but I like how you girls kind of remind me of stuff. Because I knew that the girls got eliminated and went to a hotel, but I didn't really remember seeing them. But I'm sure you obviously were around, because that was the whole point.
Yeah.
That in case journalists saw us, they didn't know who was in it. Did people even care? Was anybody trying to give the scoop on who was winning America's Next Top Model? I don't think so.
Maybe in LA, maybe, but not in Hong Kong. Nobody.
Like, what?
No,
so
and I
weird.
did totally. You said that something about, did I glare about the girls still in the competition? Yeah, I did totally glare. Cause I'd be looking over there, and I'm like, I could do that better. I could be in there. Come on, and like you look at it, like I could do that. And yes, I did have envy. I definitely had envy. Yeah.
I mean, my form of envy comes in the shape that I haven't really watched the finale episode.
No, me neither, actually. I switched off afterwards. I was like, I'm not watching it anymore. No way. Delete.
Since I was like, obviously I was a bogey for a second, but I feel like it was like literally a day, and then I went to film the catwalk show. And then you
were like kind of a fake bogey. You were like a mini bogey. You weren't a fully fledged bogey.
So my glaring was the opposite by not watching. I've seen bits of it, and obviously I knew Sophie won, but I haven't really watched it.
Yeah, it's true. It kind of hurts. It kind of hurts. Even with like the Britain's one, when it came to watching the episode, even though I knew I didn't win, I watched it anyway, and I wish I hadn't, because it just hurts.
Yeah. Let me try and ask you some questions that people might have.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, do you remember were you involved in any of the like jokey drama stuff that went on in the house on ANTM? Like, were you involved in the bear thing, and then were you throwing paper? I feel like you were being a ninja up against the wall at some point.
Yeah, I was throwing paper. That's true. I was. Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah, me and Alicia, we were just, because you just get a bit bored. You just want to do something funny. So yeah, we were throwing paper. Was it at Ashley? It might have been at Ashley. And Simone, and then they chased us, which was really funny. I don't regret that. It was really funny. You got to have pranks. You got to have laughs.
Yeah, I feel like there was so much more stuff than what aired on TV, but I can't actually remember. Because we would like learn dance routines and stuff. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
And like practice walks and come up with routines. Like we were all chummy.
Outside. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, so I was involved. It was fun. You gotta have a laugh, haven't you? Don't take it too seriously.
Exactly. That was the great thing about getting to do it again. Yeah,
okay, that's true. That's the only reason we felt like that. Because I remember the first time round, I was that person who took everything seriously.
Yeah.
Although I kind of feel like I wasted my time in there because I bought a diary, a journal, and every night in the America's Next Top Model house, I would write in the journal, and I've still got that. I read it once or twice, but you know, like I kind of wasted so many hours just writing in that. Why?
Well, it depends if it's interesting or not what was in there, because I wouldn't have a clue. I would love to have a diary. In fact, having a diary 10 years later would really help me out, because I don't remember. If it ain't on camera, I don't remember it.
I should have dug it out. I remember writing in it when we first arrived in America. We were locked in that hotel room for 7 days. They didn't know if they were going to use us or not and have a Britons versus America. And that was weird, just being locked in your room for a week.
Yeah, it's like lockdown before lockdown, isn't it?
It was. I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Laura has had a question for you. She actually put it on my post. She said, the difference. Was there a difference in response from Britain's Next Top Model to America's Next Top Model?
Yeah. I think after Britain's Next Top Model, I think people saw the extreme competitive side of me in the Britain's one and how brutal I could be, which is true. So I can be really like competitive, you know, you want to win. So I think that side is what you saw on the Britain's one. But the America's one, I think people saw like the more fun side and that actually I can be competitive, but not so mean about it. So the response was so much more positive, which made me feel so much more better about doing it, even though I didn't win. So that was good.
Yeah, I just felt like it was a proper do-over for us. I was like, I don't care what comes out of my mouth. I edited myself a lot on Britain's Next Top Model, thought about what I said before it came out my mouth and stuff. And I don't feel like it did me any favors. So I was like, whatever comes out, comes out.
Yeah,
I'll deal with it.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
All right, let me see if I've got another question for you. I've got some quite long ones somewhere. I don't know where they're hiding at the moment. Guys, if you've got a question, pop it in the comments below.
Yeah, we can see them. It's fun seeing them.
Yeah, they're there.
People are actually watching. Thanks for watching.
I know. I can't believe there's a whole 46 people here. Can you, in fact, you know what would be really nice for a second? Can you guys comment and let me know where you are in the world, what country you're in? I'm intrigued because it is 1:45 on a Wednesday. And there are 46 people who clearly don't have a job. Like, what are you guys doing? Where are you from?
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they're hiding in the toilet and just watching this.
Yeah, because it's too juicy, right? We've got too much to say, Kat. What would you say your worst photo shoot was?
Worst one was, it definitely has to be that silkworm one. It was just so awkward because we were standing on top of this table, this really slippery table in high heels, and trying to pose. And then I felt like in that one, Jay had in his mind what he wanted me to look like. So even if I was wanting, because in the real world, you try lots of different things.
Yeah.
And if something's not working, you change it up and, you know, you have a variety. But I felt like he had in his mind what he wanted me to do.
Yeah.
So if I tried doing anything different, I was getting negative comments. And then when I was trying to do what he did, it wasn't working. I couldn't quite do what he wanted. So that was good. And also, I felt like the look I had with black short hair and my features, I looked a bit like a witch. It wasn't my
you looked like a witch. Anita lied to you. I'm sorry she lied. None of us look good, though. I think Laura was the only one that pulled off the wig. I think the wig was a horrific decision.
It was awful. It was really awful. As soon as I put the wig on, I thought, oh, no, guys, this is not showing off the best of my features.
Yeah. And then even when they... when there's a photo shoot where you have to be sad and emotional, like I just don't get it. Like, what are we selling? What is the? I don't.
That's what I thought. I thought, am I selling the dress? Because if so, I want to pose like this. Or am I selling like the worms? Or like what am I? So it's really hard to then give them what they wanted.
Exactly, and it's just I don't. Yeah, I don't feel like we could have won though. I don't think like there's. Yeah, I don't feel like doing any more could have helped. Like, I don't think you should blame yourself for the elimination. Like, you couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I also thought, again, Sophie's was bad that week, and I think she got called out quite high.
Yeah, she did. And then I remember being like, why? That's so unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Even when
I think no one did well out of that was Laura. Laura got well into that. I was like, go on, Laura.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
what?
Oh, yeah. She was having a whole moment, weren't she? Oh,
It was
yes.
a real moment. I
Laura.
could hear it through the doorway. Oh, go on,
Yeah.
Laura.
Yeah, she was really into it. Laura was so fun on my Instagram live chat. She lives in Mexico.
Laura lives in
She's got a
Mexico.
fiance. Yeah, she lives in
Oh
Mexico
my
City.
God.
Speaks Spanish and stuff, and she's
Oh,
wrote a kids book and like
wow.
I know. And she
That's
looked
cool.
like a vintage doll. She had like a fringe and a very green, vintagey looking dress. She just looked so sophisticated, babe. I was like, who is
Wow.
this?
She's all grown up. Wow.
Yeah. Is there any of the girls that you speak to? Who do you still keep in contact with?
Louise, I speak to a little bit. I've got Louise on Facebook.
Nice.
So, yeah, shout out to Louise. And I've got Ashley on Facebook as well. You know, it's kind of the speaking to where you just like comment here and then. Of course,
Yeah.
you. So I tried to find Alicia, but Alicia kind of just went black. I couldn't find her. She went dark. I couldn't find her anywhere.
Yeah, she disappeared for a while, and then she came back for the live with Oliver Twixt, and I actually DM'd her. Yeah, I actually had a conversation with her because apparently I pissed her off. I said something. It's not that important, to be fair. It's also not even that juicy, but she felt some type of way about something I said, and she kind of held on to that. And yeah, but we're over it now. It's all good. Good energy.
That's good. But yes, I couldn't find her because me and Alicia, we got on so well. We were kind of like, we stuck together. We had our funny moments, and oh, she was so funny. I love Alicia.
So funny.
I tried to find her. I just couldn't. I just can't find her. So Alicia,
I am Alicia White. I think she's I am Alicia White on Insta.
Okay, I'll look for her again.
Yeah.
I love her.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, babe? Let me try and think.
Let me think.
We've done makeovers.
I think that we should like get back together, and you know, we should totally just be a band. That's what I think we should do. Our song was so good.
I mean, I feel you, and maybe if this was 5 years before, I would have said yes. But I think my singing days are behind me.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the music video was great. I had so much fun doing it, but I came like last in that group. Like I don't know. Like I clearly feel some type of way about that. I don't know.
You don't like that video as much. Don't like it as much.
Yeah,
not a fan.
I had to jump in heels and do all sorts of spinning and
we wore butt pads. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we did wear butt pads.
Butt
pads. What out of doing the show? What was one of your favorite things that we did in the whole time?
Favorite thing in the whole time. I liked getting Tyra mail, which is really fun. Seeing Tyra was really surreal, and like even like just thinking about it now, like because I remember when we were in the hotel before we actually started filming the show, competing, and they were casting us. And we went into the room. They had all the producers sat around this table. We had to talk about ourselves, and I remember seeing her in the middle, and she had a hat on, and like she was kind of trying to be low key. I remember being like, "Oh my God, that's Tyra Banks over there, guys!" Like that was. So I think just seeing her and like even though we didn't really talk and it wasn't really, you know, it wasn't close, but it's just cool seeing her. That was fun.
I always think, oh my God, she knows my name.
Yeah, I know. It's just, yes, so seeing her was really surreal and something that like I would have dreamt of doing, like I said, since I was 10. I used to watch that show. Other favorite things, being in the house was really cool because the mansion was amazing. In Britain's Next Top Model, it was nothing like that. In America, I was like, wow, everything's like bigger and better out here.
It was very shiny, wasn't it, the mansion?
Yeah.
It was insane. And there was loads of like, downstairs was like production offices, right? Was there like those rooms that had like all the equipment stuff in it and all of that?
We weren't allowed in there,
Yeah, and then the diary room. But we only had the 2 bedrooms. I thought that was rude. There's a whole 14 girls.
Bunk bed. That was fun with the bunk beds, though. Yeah. I do remember you telling us off one night, though. I remember you telling us to be quiet. You're like, girls, we've got a photo shoot tomorrow. Like, be quiet.
That sounds like something I'd say. I'm trying to get my beauty sleep. I used to have the worst night's sleeps in Britain on the show, though. I used to have nightmares that they were trying to sabotage us and stuff. Do you remember us talking about, I don't want to call them far-blown conspiracy theories, but kind of like talking like, oh, well, production again, I want to do this and this, that and the other. So we've got to make sure we do this. Like there was a lot of that, wasn't it?
Yes, there was. And even like about what we should talk about and when we should talk about it. Because it worked, could be, there was a lot of that. And again, I think the American girls, they tried to, they're kind of listening to us. We were the wise ones. They'd listen to our theories.
Because
I think the theories came through.
Yeah, I felt like they didn't even realize that there could be theories. Where we were like, no, there's
Yeah.
theories. Something's
There's
happening.
always theories.
Always, totally. And then any lowlights? What did you hate? Was there anything you hated? I'm trying to think. Same question for myself.
I
Was there
hated my
anything?
hair. I'll be honest, I hated my hair. I really felt like strongly about my hair and that it kind of set me up to fail, which sounds really stupid because your hair can't make you fail. I really hated my hair. Yeah.
It's hard to kind of be confident and put your best foot forward when you hate your hair.
Yeah, yeah, that was hard. I do kind of feel like at that point in time, I was in a different relationship to the one I was in now. And I feel like some degree I held back a little bit, being scared about doing well because of the relationship I was in.
Right.
And I should never have done that. Because I thought, if
Ooh.
things go well, we'd have to, I'd want to move to America. I'd want to give it my best shot. I'd want to. But then a part of me thought, I don't want to ruin this relationship I've got at the time. But actually, in hindsight, I should have just thought, no, what am I thinking? Like, why should
Yeah.
someone stop me from doing so? I regret that a little bit, but that's not to do with the show. That's more to do with me and learning, like a life lesson, I suppose, to like always put yourself, like to not let someone else dedicate or dictate what you're going to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Would you say that what would you say is the thing that you've learned from being on both the reality shows? Is there anything that
Mm.
you think you've taken with you later on in life?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I do this
Ooh.
sometimes.
Um, Maybe not to take myself too seriously, but also to like that not being afraid to actually care about something and wanting to do well and being competitive and kind of laying it on the line. I think you've got to be vulnerable you've got to take a risk. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So not be afraid to take a risk. Because even in real life, if you have a certain career or you want a certain house or a relationship, whatever, you've got to take a risk. So, and sometimes the risk pays off and sometimes it doesn't. So I think that's what I kind of learned and to be okay with that.
Exactly. Yeah. I was trying to think what my answer to that is. And you know what?
Yeah, what is it? What is it?
I think it's resilience. Like, I have got really thick skin. Like,
Same.
it takes a lot to really hurt me to penetrate, like, the layers.
Yeah. That's a good one, actually. I think I'd take that as, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to say the same as you. Copied. Yeah.
Perfect. That is brilliant.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
the Estelle photo shoot. I forgot about that. Jobsicles. Yeah, that was weird.
I
That
thought
was
I liked
so
your photo
weird.
in the Estelle photo shoot.
That was hard. That was slippery and weird.
It was weird. We didn't even, and then remember the concept changed throughout the day as well.
Yeah.
So it was quite confusing. But
And we'd like watch each other and try and see which pose worked so that we could try and do something similar.
basically. Oh, Catherine, it's been so nice talking to you. I feel like there's lots I haven't asked you. Is there anything I should be saying next? If you think there's a question that I haven't asked Kat, let me know in the comments below, because we've talked about ANTM, BNTM, we talked about the music video, your elimination, talked about that.
I'll tell one thing, Ricky's put on there, where did I get my green lipstick? That's part of my fail, Ricky, is that when we did that challenge, that green lipstick was actually eyeshadow, and I thought I was being cool. I thought I'd stand out by doing something different, so I'd actually put eyeshadow on my lips, and that failed.
Is that the one in Macau?
It might have been. Yeah, that was that week.
Yeah.
It was all adding up. I tried to do that, didn't work. So that's note to self, don't put eyeshadow on your lips. It's not a good look, guys.
I don't even blame you, babe. You were trying to be creative. They sprung that one on us. Like, you were just trying to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, we'll definitely do an all-star too. So yeah.
If you let's face it, I don't think America's Next Top Model could come back even if it tried. Let's say it did, and they were going to do an all-star of all-stars. I don't know what they'd even call it. And they asked you to do it. Would you do it?
100%.
Really?
100%. Yeah, even knowing what I know, even the highs and the lows, 100%. It's just such fun. You got to.
Well, if you get the call, can you call me and try and convince me? Because,
all right, deal.
babe, it's so many reality shows at this stage.
You've got to, Annaliese. You would. You got to jump.
Babe, you've got a whole husband and Isabel at home, and you want to go to America and shimmy around in butt pads, or
they would root for me. They would go for they would. They were like, do it, live the dream. They really would. That's why he's my husband, because
Yeah.
he's the right one. He'd support me. He'd be like, do it.
Oh, cute. I feel like I would regret saying no, but I would need a bit of convincing. I feel like they'd have to
Yeah.
pay me this time. There'd need to be a check involved.
I would help convince you. I'd be there.
Good to know, babe. Thank you so much, Kat. Isabel's been amazing.
I know, she's sleeping.
Oh my God, the boobs are
I
leaning.
don't know if you actually saw her then.
No, I did see her. We did. Yeah.
But she has been amazing, so that's good. And thank you so much for asking me. Thanks, you know, it's nice to have a catch up with you and see you again and like hear from you. It's been lovely. I really it's nice. I've missed you. You realise you miss someone until like, you know, just reach and touch. It's like we never it's been yesterday, not 10 years. So yeah, thank you as well. And thank you to everyone who's like watched and commented and like, yeah, it's been really nice. Nice to see that people are still care.
They still care and they are rooting for all of us, babe. It's crazy. I just got to say another thank you. You have been absolutely awesome. When all of this lockdown madness moves on, we need to catch up. Let's go have lunch. That would be adorable.
Yes.
Yeah, it actually feels a bit weird to hang up on you, but yeah, thank you again. You've been awesome.
Welcome.
Everyone, make sure you follow Kat. Do you want people to follow you actually, or is that a thing?
Well, you could. It's tricky because of
being a teacher.
Yeah, so
well,
I don't know.
Talk to Kat through me. It's fine. I'll make sure she gets the messages. Put them all under the comments. Yeah. Kat, love you loads. Thank you so much. I think you can just click the X and you'd be gone.
Right. Where is the X? I'm going. Okay. Bye. Take care. Bye. Bye.
This is I just done my second Instagram live with Catherine Dance. I am kind of sweating, but this is good. Did you enjoy it? It was like a blast from the past. It was literally like seeing an old friend. And she's right, nothing really had changed, apart from the fact that she had a baby. How cute is Isabel? Thank you so much, guys. I will be popping this up on my YouTube channel. I am obviously going to save it here. I'll be back soon. I've actually got another Instagram live coming up so soon. I'm not even going to tell you who it's with, you know. No, I'm just going to keep you teased. Yeah. Maybe go check out some of my other YouTube content, see if you can get some clues. I'll be back. See you later.